Hey, happy Sunday, everyone. Welcome to episode 12 of the Gaming Hour. We're moving along here. Got some hot topics for you today, talking about the PlayStation Portable, the newest console from them, ethics in gaming, how you feel people should play certain games, and much more. So let's get going with our cast introductions. Johnny, welcome back. How you doing, man?
Hey, happy to be here. Happy to be back. I understand that we haven't had such great luck with our questions game at the end, and I was called back in out of retirement
Oh,
to try to turn us back
Oh,
around.
this man.
Uh,
All right.
Caroline, how's it going?
It's going.
Uh,
Yeah, happy to be here right now. In this cold Sunday morning.
man, BJ, what's up, man?
Not much, man. Feeling good. Ready to get it going.
And D-Lo, what's up with you, man?
What's up, y'all, man? I see Johnny out here throwing shots in the beginning of the intro, so I see we gotta get it together this time.
All right, so we got a jam-packed show for you guys today. We're first going to start off with what everyone's been playing or watching, things like that, as we do as usual. And since Johnny hasn't been on a while and he's talking crap already, we're gonna go over there to Johnny and start it off with Johnny.
Sure thing. Sure. So I guess I've been looking back instead of looking forward for games these days. I started playing Diablo 2 again these last couple weeks. I've been doing a hammered in run, a classic, playing the Paladin. I did check out Delta Force actually last night. I downloaded it
What'd you
like
think?
midnight. I feel like it's got potential. I had a lot of lag on my game, and I don't think it was my own connection. So I think it's like server problems or something.
Okay.
I saw that it had a lot of mixed reviews, and I
Mhm.
presume that it's probably server connectivity, which is part of the mixed reviews. It's I feel like it's nice to have a free competitor for
Yeah.
like the Call of Duty games and stuff like that for someone as cheap as hell like myself. I was having fun, even though I was getting mostly destroyed.
Okay.
Aside from that, yeah, I'm doing my old classics, a little bit of League, a little bit of World of Warcraft, a little bit of Skyrim even. But yeah.
All right. D-Lo.
Yo, so as a teacher around December, it's as a music teacher, it's always Christmas time and winter concert time. So I haven't been doing much gaming, but I've been doing a lot of watching since I come home tired. So I've been watching Blue Lock. It's a sports anime about soccer. A lot of people don't, if you don't know about that one, been watching Blue Lock. Shangri-La Frontier. That's where I think I've been getting my video game fix from because it's an anime about
That's a
a
great
kid playing
anime.
virtual anime. Yeah, Shangri-La Frontier is like really good, especially when he talks about trash games, which is what we
Yeah.
talk about often. So yeah, I've been watching those two real
Concord.
heavy. Huh?
Damn.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Shout out, Sonny. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been watching.
Caroline.
I'm sorry. Sorry, I played beach volleyball yesterday, so there's something in my eye. So if I do this, that's why. There's still sand in my eye.
Oh.
My bad. So I finally finished Kingdom Hearts, but about 50 hours in, pretty much completed it. I'm happy with just the whole series in general, and I highly recommend it for anybody who hasn't who likes adventure games and beating things with the swords. But I started Zelda a couple of days ago, the Echoes of Wisdom. I'm very much enjoying it, and I think I'm ready to put in a good 4 or 5 hours. So I love it so far. It's definitely it's still got the typical Zelda feel because eventually you get to use swords. So you're Zelda and you get to use magic, but then you also get to eventually use swords. So it's kind of I get that the original feel for it. So highly recommend that as well. In terms of what I've been watching, I've also been watching Shangri-La Frontier. Up to date, and the newest episode came out today. So after this podcast, I'm gonna watch that
Okay.
in
Okay.
my shark blanket.
All right. Shark. Miss Shark. BJ, what's good, man?
Shoot, man. I've been in full grind mode on this RuneScape, man. Playing this leagues. I don't know how many days left in it, but it's a sprint, man. You want to get as many points as possible within like a month or so, or 2 months. I can't remember how long it is, So I literally have not really even played anything else at all. Just can't have no XP waste, man. And other than that, what I've been watching, still watching Bleach. I haven't. The new episode came out yesterday. I haven't got a chance to watch it yet. Probably gonna do that today at some point, long as we can get the group together. Other than that, that's about it, man. Just working.
Okay. And I can tell every time I jump on Discord, I see you. You been playing that Ruin Light or whatever it is, heavy. That's all
Yeah.
I'm saying. Like, man, this man ain't putting it down.
Gotta grind, man. I only got so much time, man. I don't know if I'm gonna get the Dragon Cup, but we gonna try, man. It's just based on how many points you get.
Okay. What have I been playing? I played a little Delta Force that I was telling Johnny about. A little bit of Call of Duty. Haven't really been playing that. I downloaded the Lockdown Protocol that I sent you guys. I know I texted you guys that I got absolutely talked about, like talked about badly. They talked about me pretty bad. Do you even know how to play the game? I just quit out.
Damn.
I just quit out the game after the master's over. I'm like, come on, man. I said, y'all embarrassing. Because I wasn't trying to play the game the correct way. I was trying to like get the weapon or the gun or whatever the weapon is, and I was trying to kill people. I wasn't actually trying to do the objectives. I was just trying to get the weapon and then kill people.
So you were asking for it, you're saying?
A little bit. I wasn't mad at him. I was actually laughing myself. I wasn't mad at him. And then the game is like you can like point at people and do that, and then I just put my hands up like this because you put your hands up like you're not the killer. This is like a killer and employee thing. And then I watched the Madden documentary. It's 4 parts on Prime. If you, I don't know if you guys have watched any video game documentaries, but maybe you don't play Madden, but it's really good. And it leaks into a conversation we're gonna have today about ethics in gaming. So it's really good. Showing the evolution of Madden, how Madden got big. It just talks about NFL players and people learning from video games in general. Usually people say, oh, you can't learn this from games and things like that. But a lot of people say how games helped them mentally, helped them where their parents were going through a bad time or something like that. So it's a good watch. It's a good 4-part series, like 53 minutes per episode. So if you got Prime, you need something about video games. Maybe you don't like Madden, but just video games in general. It talks about other stuff in there. So we're going to get started with our first topic. Sony announced that they are going to be doing a portable handheld console, not your PlayStation Portable, which is just an extension of a PS5, but a standalone console similar to Game Boy Advance, similar to Switch, things like that. So my question for you guys is, and whoever wants to take it first is welcome to, how do you feel about that? And what can a portable console, any portable console, the Super Switch, the Xbox handheld, the PlayStation, to make it a little different than because if they're all the same, I don't know. It really doesn't seem interesting to me, but is there anything portable consoles can do now to make you want to buy one? And like I said, anyone can jump along.
For me, I think it's all about the games. If they've got a good selection of games, because I think that was the downfall of the PSP back in the days. They had like 2 titles that were somewhat popular or recognizable, and the rest was like, what is this? If they can compete with like Nintendo's roster for their portable consoles, then hey, all for it. I think I've been mentioning before that the only console I would really consider buying nowadays is one that I could take around, which is why I've been trying to keep up on following whatever the news is about the Switch 2 or whatever we're calling it. Though there hasn't been much.
No.
So.
Okay.
Yeah, I did a little research on the,
I think
what's something like the console war and or like a new console war. It sounds like the new PlayStation Portable or whatever it's going to be called. It's going to be like you're going to be able to play PS5 games, and so for me, that's the appeal. It's like I don't want to buy another. I just got my PS5. I don't want to buy a new system. It's like relatively new. Like, why should I buy another system for me? So that would be that for me. That would be the appeal. I do enjoy my Switch a lot because I can play on the big screen and take it wherever. So hopefully the portables that are coming out for the Xbox and the PlayStation do something similar, if not the same.
I do think that a portable, I guess, next gen would be interesting. Being that a lot of people, um, COVID taught us like we love being at the house, but now it's time to get out. Even we want a game, and being that a lot of developers are using the phone, the cell phone. Like I don't know if a lot of developers are gonna shift towards the cell phone as their portable device. Um, I know Windows did that a long time ago with like the Windows phones and stuff like that. When I had one, that was what you could do on the with Microsoft's games. But I think, like Caroline said, PlayStation jumping into the portable game when they just released the handheld version that was like a streaming type of thing. I feel like they need to just either revamp that and keep that going because that kind of fell to the wayside when they realized you had to have your console on and streaming and stuff like that. Um, I feel like they just need to like do some software updates to where you can like take that on the go. You know what I'm saying? Because me, if I just bought a PS5 Pro and or the 30th edition PlayStation, or just have a regular PlayStation, and it's only been like what 3.5 years ish, I'm probably not buying another Sony item, even if I'm a Sony person, just because there's not enough games coming with it. You know what I'm saying? Like Nintendo has been doing this for a long time, and they're about to bring out the Switch too. It's well overdue, but they have a
Mhm.
large catalog already. So the two bigger brothers in gaming are behind the ball in this race already. Even though we're waiting on a Switch 2 and it's long overdue, they don't have a catalog that's going to compete with something that's portable because they're not a portable company. They're not portable companies. So I think they need to look at Nintendo's um I guess their methods and how they do portable gaming. Because how are you going to get a CD on a cartridge? Are you going to stream? A lot of people don't like streaming. Are you gonna convert them to, what I'm saying? If you already own the game, can I buy the cartridge version? Can I get a trade in for half price or something like that? Like
Mhm.
they need to figure that out like very quickly. So
Okay.
Yeah. Wow. So I like how we're like going back now because like obviously Sony tried their hand with the portable stuff with the PSP, PS Vita, years ago, and kind of like let it die, right? And now I think with kids and everything playing on tablets, playing on phones, I think they just see that it's I mean, there really is a good market there. Like I said, for me, I've like whenever I'm like out, I even if I try to bring like my Switch, I always end up not playing it because I'm
Same.
doing, what I'm saying, I'm doing something or whatever. I'm out, I'm with family or friends. Just so for me, I even like my Switch, it stayed on the dock for like the entirety of when I did. I don't really play it like that now, but and as for like you're saying, what can you do different? That's something I thought about. It's like I don't know. There's like so much stuff getting done. I thought maybe something like because with games like Pokemon Go, which are like still popular today, I'm thinking maybe like you fix a camera onto it, and then you make games that allow you to interact with the real world to actually do stuff in game. That sounds like something that could be interesting. Not necessarily exactly like Pokemon Go, where like that's the main thing, but where it's like okay, if you go here or there, take a picture or scan something, you could do a fight or something with like a I don't know what do you call it? It's not VR, but what is it called? I can't remember what it's called. The alternate reality AR or
Like
whatever.
AR, yeah,
Yeah,
AR, yeah.
it's called. I couldn't
yeah,
think of the
yeah.
name of it. I think something like that could be interesting. Just because
Okay.
I don't know. I not to say it's never been done, but in a fashion where like you have like an actual full game with content that involves that as well, opposed to that's just the whole game. I think something like that could be interesting.
And I have a follow up question for you guys. Do you guys think that those consoles, like sometimes I can't think of the GTA game, but sometimes they'll have these portable consoles, and then it'll be a different type of Mario game that's not on the Switch, or it'll be a different type of Gears of War that's just for the portable. You think they need to have the same games as the console, or their own little games, alternative stories for the portable systems?
So I would say like a little bit of both. That was another thing I was thinking about, like how Dilo was saying they allow you to stream. games. I feel like you should be able to access your like main console games from from this portable console, and then also they have like games for it. I mean, I don't know if that's asking for too much, but I think that would be. I mean, the Switch pretty much does it already by just making all their games work both ways, right? I don't think that's too much to ask for.
Okay.
I think with all these price hikes, we not asking for too much. Along
Hey,
with,
fair game.
hey, I will say this, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong because y'all are more Nintendo heavy than I am. Has there been a Nintendo game on the Switch that needed a day one patch, a huge day one update?
No.
Not really. Not really.
So I think starting there, if you're gonna go portable, we need full finished games,
Yeah.
especially for $80 on a brand new console. I think we need finished games,
I agree.
both your own previously owned games and new updated games, new IPs. Let's do that. If you're gonna go portable, we need new people. I'm tired of seeing Marcus Phoenix. I love him dearly. I'm tired of seeing
Shoot.
what's buddy from I don't want to see Kratos. I'm good.
Okay.
We're good. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to see Master Chief. I know he's been dead and gone for a while. We don't want to see him. We don't want to see Astro Boy. That might be a fun portable game. He can stay at the house. We need some new IPs. We need some new ideas.
I mean, but what you're saying goes a little bit against the grain because people still want to see Link, Zelda, Mario, Donkey
I mean,
Kong.
that's true. That's true. And Nintendo need to get they behind in gear too, because as we seen, Pokemon, if you go on the internet, there is so many great designs for new Pokemon. Like this might be going on a tangent, but real quick, I saw a post that was like the Pokemon released why they never made a new Eevee evolution for the next is because people on the internet made concepts like
Give me 1 second. Sorry.
You're lagging it just a little bit. D-Lo, just a little bit of lag. Caroline, go ahead while he's lagging. We can't hear him.
Is he there?
No.
give me a
Yeah. So Caroline, what do you think about that?
Specifically, sorry.
Like
What was the
having
one?
do the portable consoles need to have their own their own Zelda? You know, it's gonna be it's gonna Breath of the Wild on the Switch, but do they need to have their own type just for the portable console to kind of entice you to get that?
Yeah, I agree with BJ on that, like a little bit of everything. So, again, it's one of those. I bought all these games. I want access to the games that I bought. Why can't I? Like, if I'm going to get a new console, I have no problem buying new games, but I also want to be able to replay some of the other games that I spent, X amount of dollars on, especially if there's going to be downloadable content. Like, and like, you only have so much room for consoles and for upgrades. Again, I'm really big on Nintendo. So Nintendo, I think, does it really well. So you do have access to like all the old school consoles if you have like a Nintendo account. So for me, like I can finally play like Ocarina of Time again or like Mario 64. So maybe something like that for the new PSP games as well. But again, I think there's a lot of work and a lot of thought that needs to be done for me to actually buy another portable. Like I don't need another portable. Maybe a Steam Deck, but that's because it's games I don't have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And I don't know if it's completely true or not, but I've always read that Nintendo has trouble, like you going from the Game Boy Advance to this in Nintendo 3DS or what it may be, and they have trouble when you transfer your games. Like they make you rebuy them all the way over again. I don't know if that's true or not, but I hear that's a big thing when I'm hearing people talk about Nintendo. That all right, I brought Mario Sunshine, but now I have to buy it again because my games didn't immediately transfer over. So
yeah, and it's hard because the Nintendo's or their business strategy or their business model is not necessarily like, hey, let's just make our console stronger. It's like hey, let's make like let's make something innovative, right?
Mhm.
So how do you, but so like something like the Wii, for example, like how do you transfer the Wii games to like a Switch where, you know, it's not really motion censored
Yeah.
and you have the Wiimote and, you know, and then versus like the GameCube, like how do you transfer that to the Wii when, you know, it's like all about, you know, the different controllers. So
Yeah.
I think that's the issue, is that their consoles are so different from the other that, like, you know, it's hard to go from one to the other versus like a PS4. Well, it's just still like a box with a
Yeah.
different controller, right?
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, off to our hot topic of the day, our ethics in gaming. I'm gonna let Johnny take off on it first, but I want to get your thoughts, everyone's thoughts. I know all of us should have thoughts about this. About, is there a certain way you should play a game? Is it okay to cheat in a game? Is it okay to scam people in the game? Is it okay to do any kind of different kind of things in these games? So Johnny, take off.
Yeah, so I think it really depends on the type of game we're talking about, or the specific game we're talking about, even. And I know a few of us at least play some Dead by Daylight, and I think that game more than others is the one where I've heard the most conversation about how you're supposed to play based on what side you're playing on. So for those that don't know, Dead by Daylight is an asymmetrical horror survival game. So it's 1v4. There's one player that plays a killer and 4 people that play survivors. The survivors work together to activate generators around the map to open the doors to escape the match. And the goal is to not be killed by the killer. And naturally, the killer has the opposite goal of hunting down these survivors, killing them, putting them up on a hook, and keeping them from escaping. And so there's a lot of talk about how the killer is supposed to play the game in a way that is, the killer is expected to play the game in a way that's sort of fair, or like that doesn't tunnel people, so it doesn't run around and focus on one person and just knock them out of the game fast. Isn't supposed to like leave people on the ground, because in the game you when you hit people, you can knock them down to the ground, and then you pick them up and you put them on a hook. But you have the option to leave people on the ground, and that's called slugging. Exactly. Yeah. Yep. And it's pretty frowned upon by the community. It's considered a scummy move. On the survivor side, there are ways to, I guess, play unsportsmanlike, I suppose. And these aren't necessarily my opinions, but the opinions of the community, that if survivors are just like hammering out generators, it's called gen rushing, and they are like, if they aren't engaging in altruism, or if they aren't trying to save their friends and that sort of thing, that's sort of frowned upon by the killer side of things. So all that to say, there are a lot of expectations about how you're supposed to play the game. So I guess getting into my personal opinions about the matter, I don't think there's any wrong way to play Dead by Daylight. I think if the designers of the game allow it, if the designers of the game don't penalize it, anyone can play however they want. I think so. Personally, as a killer, I think I tend to play pretty fairly. I think I tend to not try to kill somebody, and like I try to not tell someone and get somebody out of the game, even though I know that's the most effective strategy, right? So it's the most effective thing to do. So you can't really blame a killer for doing it, especially since they introduced the MMR system. So sorry, I'm going on a huge rant here. I don't know if you guys.
Oh, don't worry. I got a lot. You know, I got a lot to say.
We're just getting started.
Ooh.
So a few years ago, the developers' behavior implemented an MMR system, a matchmaking system that tracked the rankings of players. Or track the skill levels of players. Now, before that, who you were matched with was, gosh, this is so. If you don't play DBD, sorry, you're learning so much about something you might not even care about. There was a system by which you had to do a whole bunch of stuff in any particular game to get pips, and you would rank up by getting pips. You remember those days, Andre? The good old days.
Yeah. When I first started.
Yeah. So back then, it didn't matter. So to get a bunch of pips, you did have to kill people, but you also had to like chase people for a while. You had to kick generators. You had to do more than just kill people to pip up. And And since they introduced the MMR rating, the MMR is it's hidden, so you can't see it, but it is only affected by the number of kills you get. So in that change, they sort of disincentivized doing anything else as killer besides just killing people. And the way to get the most kills is to slug people, to tunnel people, to do all the things that are considered rude in the game. And it's like, if you want to be at the top, especially if you're playing one of the lower tier killers, what else are you going to do besides do these most effective strategies? So I personally don't play to try to play against the top, like the best people, because I would get smashed. I'm not that good. But I can't blame anyone for playing that way. And as far as survivors go, my opinion is, why wouldn't you gen rush? That's like, of course you're going to try to hit the gens, and that's the objective of the game.
Well, for me, the gen rushing thing, me and my brother talk about it. That's the objective of the game. Like that's what you're supposed to do. I don't feel like that's like cheating or scamming or whatever kind of term you want to use. I feel like you're supposed to do the gen, and then that's it. That's how you win the game. You can't win the game without doing the gens.
I agree. So, do you think it's wrong if your whole team? So in the game, you can bring in items with you, and there's a particular item called a brand new part, which can give you additional generator progress. Andre, would you say it's too much, or is it too survivor sided if everyone brings in a brand new part? And
yes,
it is.
Yes, okay, I would say that.
I would say no. I would say it's not. I would say the survivors can bring in whatever builds they want. If they have 4 people there's also like a meta in the game where you can take in, there are certain perks that are objectively better than other perks. Some of those perks these days are, gosh, what are they? Do you know what people are running on survivor side, Andre? I know DS is still really popular.
Balance landing, sprint bursts.
Yeah. I know that Made for This was really popular for a while. There's a couple that like will give endurance that lets you take a free hit that are really popular. Buckle Up, I think, was popular for a while. I think if they're in the game, you can take them. I mean, I think it's on the developers to balance the game. You're not. I don't think you're able to trust a community to play fairly or to respect a set of rules. I think the developers, if they don't want a game to be played a certain way, they need to penalize certain modes of play or change how things are happening. Whether that's incentivizing hooking different people instead of tunneling the same person in a row, or making it so a survivor can automatically pick themselves up after a while. They've done a few things to try to reduce tunneling in the game, like making like borrowed time base kit. Now everyone, when you pulled off a hook, you get a bit of endurance, so you can take a free hit, so the killer can't just immediately down you again. That was something that they did change, but still, I mean, now if you can count to 10, you can still down someone after they get pulled off a hook. So, anyways, that was a lot. And again, my whole opinion on the matter is, killers can play the game however they want to. I don't blame a killer that will chase and tunnel someone out of the game, because that is the objective that the developers have officially stated by making that how you increase your matchmaking rating. If you kill someone, you are considered to be a better player, even if you are using these dirty tactics. Why wouldn't someone, if that's what the objective of the game is? Okay. Same for survivors. You guys, like, we're different. You guys can do whatever you want. You guys can gen rush. You guys can take your brand new parts. You can take your decisive strikes. Your what's the bell perk?
Why can't I think of it? I can't think of it.
Unbreakable.
Unbreakable. Yes.
Unbreakable. And you guys can pick yourselves up off the ground. Yeah. So I think it's carte blanche on both sides to play however you want.
VJ, pop off, man.
I agree with Johnny, man. I'm not for all this. Because people are crying now, you suddenly can't play a certain way. If it's in the game, if it's not breaking the game, you should be allowed to do it. Like I could come from a place of playing fighting games because that's just what I do, and it's the same thing. I used to play and follow for a while, and it definitely was really bad. I used to be in like a couple of communities, and that's all it was both sides crying at each other about you doing this and you doing that. If it's not a game breaking glitch, I think it's fair game. Like in fighting games, people get mad when you play certain like Ken was when Street Fighter 6 first came out, Ken was like the best character. He had the best frame data. He had crazy pressure, crazy corner game, throw loops. People don't like these things. People think, oh, if this is what you have to do, then you suck at the game. This is what they'll say, right? Which I completely disagree with, especially in fighting games, because a lot of things that people do, if you are good enough to counter it, it doesn't work. And so instead of people trying to figure out how to counter this thing, they rather complain about it and try to want to get something nerfed or taken out of the game, right? Or they're just going to insult you for playing Ken because they don't know how to deal with Ken. That's not your fault. You're not obligated to play the game the way you pay your money for that game, so you can play that game however you want to play it. That's how I see it. That's how I see it. It's like, honestly, that's one thing that I hate. And even kind of different, kind of the same. When I played Helldivers, it was the same thing with the community. I didn't agree, and maybe they'll call me a bootlicker because that's what they were calling people who didn't agree with when they were complaining about all the stuff that they were complaining about, but complaining about guns not being as effective as they want them to be or whatever. And it's like I was on there going crazy with these same guns that people complained about, and I'm like, what's the issue? You know what I'm saying? So I don't believe in giving in to people crying about stuff.
Oh my gosh, a bootlicker, bro. What?
That's the thing.
That's like every match of DVD, but people crying. That's all it is. Both sides.
Honestly, I don't believe you should give in to that, man. Play the game how you want to play it. I mean, and that's all it is to it.
Caroline? Oh man.
I'm gonna make the fighting games analogy too because that's what I'm most familiar with. But like, who makes these rules? Like, who says we have to follow these rules? It's however you want to play the game. The developers made it free for how people want to play the game for a reason. For me, it's not just a Street Fighter, but also Smash Brothers. So like you can do things like edge weight, and people or like you can have items in the game. I don't know how familiar you are, but like you can. It's always a free for all, but like some people don't want to play with items, and that's cool. You can change those rules. But apparently, like you're a sissy if you play with items. But I'm like, well, but that's the whole point of like Smash Brothers because it's supposed to be this like free for all like crazy battle. But that doesn't mean that like it's the wrong way to play or it's the right way to play or you're not pro enough. And it's the same thing with edge weighting. Oh, like that's how you're going to kill somebody. I'm like, yeah, that's how I'm going to kill somebody right away. It's everybody against everybody, of course. Or cherry picking, stuff like that. Cherry picking like basketball, like 2K, right? So, right. I mean, to your point, like it's how you want to play the game, and as long as you're not doing, Dilo, what was that called? The glitchy thing, the lag. I forgot.
What, the lag switch?
Oh, the lag switch.
Lag switch, yes. As long as you're not doing things like that, then like it's fair game, right? Trash. You know, sucks to suck. That's all I gotta say.
Honestly,
I guess while we're talking about it, I guess I think it matters on how you've decided to play, and I guess who you're playing with and what your objectives are. Because I can imagine in a game of Smash, if I'm playing like with my friends and like if we're not taking it too seriously, I can imagine like edge camping or whatever we call it, and like just waiting to smash someone down. I could understand how I would piss somebody off if I did that. So like if I don't want to ruin someone's day, I might not do that. Like if there might be a line, so I wonder if the question is like, is this supposed to be really competitive or not? And I guess in the question of DBD, there's only one. I mean, there's sometimes they'll have like other game modes that you can go in and are considered maybe less competitive, but every mode is ranked. So every mode is like every time you play, you have this MMR. Well, I don't know if that's true of their alternate modes, but every game that you play in the standard game is ranked. So you are forced to play with this competitive edge or with this competitive mindset, unless you don't care, which probably a lot of people don't. Maybe I'm in the minority here. But in a game of Smash, like if my friends and I were playing in a tournament, like if we were like sometimes we do, sometimes we'll have our names up on a whiteboard and like have a draft and all that stuff. And in those, you better believe I'm going to be edge camping, right? You better believe I'm going to be trying to destroy somebody.
Absolutely.
But so if we're just getting around like to play and we're not taking it seriously, then then I think we might have a different rule set. I could imagine that for DBD as well. If we were all playing DBD and I was chasing you guys down, would I play like a jerk? Maybe. If it was you guys, maybe.
Or like even like Mario Party, where somebody's winning, and like, okay, I don't want them to win. I'm gonna team up with the other two people, and we're gonna bully him. You know, that's okay, but is that fair? I'm like, well, it depends
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So I think we're talking about a social contract that you engage in when you play games, either between you and friends. You guys might have a rule set by which you're supposed to play, but I guess, yeah, I think it's probably a different set of expectations when you're playing with strangers. I guess the real question is, what are the expectations of how you're supposed to play games? Yeah, and maybe we'll never have a uniform answer to that question.
Definitely not. There's gonna always be some kind of complaints or contrast or people feeling like you shouldn't be doing this or that, man. This is gonna always be there.
D-Lo, let's get your opinion on it, man.
Steam test 1, 2. Am I lagging?
A little bit laggy.
Low
My
laggy.
hand.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
the
see no hand
it's
movement.
rainy over here. It's raining.
Oh,
We're just gonna roll with it.
you struggling a
Get
little
real
bit.
bad.
Yeah,
Be quiet.
yeah, you struggling.
Get real bad.
Dang.
So I'm gonna just.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's try to leave and come
Yeah.
back. Try to leave and come back.
All right.
If I was a different skin color, you would see the flames coming out of my head right now. I don't believe this conversation right now. I cannot believe this. And this is coming from a person, if everyone knows, my brothers will tell you, I was ranked number 1 in the world in NBA 2K. I was ranked number 611 in Madden. I was a very competitive gamer, run gaming tournaments. There's a certain way you play stuff, and there's a certain way you do stuff. It's just the moral ethics. If I go play a basketball game against little 5-year-olds, I'm going to give them a chance to play as well. I'm not going to just, because I'm 6 foot tall or whatever, just keep shooting over them.
What if there's money on the line? What if there's money on the line? What if the winner got $500?
But we're not talking about. We just talking about gaming right now. We're not talking about money. We're not talking about tournaments. But at the same time, when I was in those Madden tournaments and I won money and I got to go to Fairlane and I got to go to Dearborn, I played the same way I did play at home. There was a game, 2004, Michael Vick in NBA Madden, where he was broken. The game was broken. I was very good in that game. Michael Vick is a quarterback. Hopefully everyone knows the football terms. People were putting Michael Vick on defense, kick returner, punt returner. Come on, man. He's a quarterback. For me, when I play games, now when I'm playing against my brothers and stuff like that, I still try to play the same way. Like camping. That's something to me that why are you sitting there doing that? Play the game, get a gun, run around, have a little fun. If you in some sick, crazy tournament and you got a whole team worth millions of dollars, I might feel a tad bit, but really not. I think there's a certain way to play all games, and I'm more or less I'm talking about sports games. That's why I don't like fighting games. When you play a sports game or a racing game, Johnny gets the basketball, I get the basketball. We both get a turn. And fighting games, I don't feel like that's accurate. I feel like the person can keep hitting. Yes, you have to try to block, but no one should keep being able to do this. It's like an MMA fight. I was watching last night, MMA. You hit somebody, they have a chance to hit you back. They're not going to keep doing this, and you can't do anything. That is not accurate. That's not how real life goes. So I have a whole. Sorry.
Let me ask you this. So in the case with Michael Vick being a broken player on the field, and in the case where in fighting games where people are getting like stun locked by repeated moves, whose responsibility is it to fix that? Is it the player's responsibility to not abuse that, or is it the developer's ability to make sure it can't be abused?
I can only speak for myself, but I have just a good moral conscience. So I think it's on both of them. But for me, I just wouldn't do it. I used him. Michael Vick was one of my favorite players. I had his jersey, I had his shoes. I used him as a quarterback and won most of my games. Once again, like I said, I was ranked number 1 in the world. There's proof of it. So just so you know, I went 62-2 in that month that I was ranked number 1. I wasn't cheating. I wasn't putting Shaq as my point guard. I wasn't doing this and that. Shaq's a center. I was putting Shaq at center. But you'll see stuff putting people out of position, doing things like this, camping. I personally don't agree with it. Like if you cut another analogy, because I remember talking about it way back when. But if you got like Pokemon and it's a Mewtwo, we'll just take. And me and BJ have a Mewtwo, and we know Mewtwo gets one-hit kills. And Pokemon, it's a coin flip who goes first. So if Mewtwo's a one-hit kill, then I kill his Mewtwo, and then the game's over. Like that's the word I'm going to use is shady. That's shady to me. I think there is a way to play all type of games.
But isn't that the beauty of games, though, that you can put Shaq as your point guard? Because you can't do that in real life.
I mean, I guess.
See, we could go on this.
And it throws people off. It throws people off. And then part of the game is like, okay, how do I strategize with Shaq being a point guard?
Oh, they got blown. I'll tell you how they strategize. They got blown out. I'll tell you how they got blown out by me. I'll tell you how they strategize.
Right.
D-Lo, you sound good now, man.
All right, we good?
Yeah, you sound good. Yeah,
we good? Okay, we good. I'm gonna move quickly. I feel like if there are access points in the game to abuse certain systems, by all means. Because I mean, in reality, look in real life, there are laws. If you read them the right way, you can abuse them the right way, and you won't go to jail. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like in a video game, I just think it's the same thing. You know, if you getting stun locked, you better study that character so you don't get stun locked. I just feel like the best people that play the people that play the game very well understand all the mechanics, so they don't fall short to those. You know what I'm saying? Those.
But I'm saying this, and I was one of those players.
So again, get your gaming up,
no, I was one of those good players.
No, I'm saying to the people that complain about those methods in the game, if you're playing, I'm not the best at Smash. I stay getting destroyed off the edge. They be camping at the edge with Donkey Kong, and I'll be like, you know what? I need to get better, so I don't end up in that situation. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, but there are situations where if it's a part of the game that breaks it completely, like you said about the Mewtwo situation or something like that, then it's right on the developers to check their games, because people are going to test it. Like, you know, if it's an open world, someone's going to run to the edge and see how far they can go. And if you don't want them to go into the cyberspace, you check your game, you know? But if you're complaining that people are abusing a system that you can also abuse, get your gaming up. I'm just saying. Because
it's kind of like what Tears of the
wall
Kingdom,
bouncing in gears
Zelda.
is a thing.
Trash.
Yeah. So
wall bouncing
Zelda's...
in gears is a thing. If you can't do it, figure it out.
But what about the people who can see what I think you got me wrong? What about the people who can do it like me and still were good without abusing the game? Because I can wall bounce. I was good in these games.
So
I'm cool with everybody playing the game how they want to play. I mean, to answer the question. But if you're complaining about it, then I don't know what to tell you.
That might be
you can't complain and do it.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm complaining about it and not doing it and still beating them.
That might introduce a whole other angle here, because this we're talking about
a whole other animal then.
Yeah, talking about ethics, and then we might be introducing morals now into the conversation too.
That's
you might be.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, you might be. That might be a way to play morally by acknowledging that there is this system that you could exploit, and yet you are actively playing while still having concern for the other person's experience and not trying to be a jerk. So maybe that's another part of this conversation too, is how to play morally in addition to ethically. Yeah.
But again, who establishes those rules?
That's what I'm saying. I am very much.
Hey, I got it. If money ain't on the line, I don't care about your feelings. I'm escaping from reality. So if in reality I have morals on this game, I don't care. I may be getting out my transgressions on you while abusing the system. So you gotta figure it out.
That's what BJ's doing when he's scamming people out of his.
Come on, man. Look. Scamming is bold. All right, I shouldn't have did it, man. I was young and I was dumb. I don't support scamming now, but what I will say is, and maybe it's because of the fighting game background, people say you can't spam fireballs. But if I can beat you by only spamming fireballs and you have no idea how to stop it, that's not my fault.
That's
You get
exactly.
Correct. Correct.
that's not my fault. Like
Sucks to suck.
exactly, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm sorry.
But why do it? If see me, I come from a very high competitively, just me as a person, and then my family as a person. If you can win a regular way, why would you do that?
I feel like if let's say me and you been playing the game for a while, right? Or something like that, or maybe you're new to the game. Honestly, I may be a messed up person for this. I'm gonna check to see if you're good enough for me to play regular. So I'm gonna spam some basic moves, and if you can't get past basic moves, why would I demolish you completely? You get what I'm saying? Maybe that's just me.
But
Like,
don't even play
that's
I'm a
that.
big
facts.
brother and I have a little sister that wanted to play games.
I mean, if you get
I'm
matched
just
up
saying
with them,
if you can't get past basic mechanics, I'm not finna play regular.
I'm teaching you a
Why
lesson.
would I?
Man. You
Why
gonna
would
learn.
I like? I mean,
You
hey,
gonna learn. If not,
if
then
I
you
could win
gonna lose.
if I could win a fight just by pushing you down, why would I even ball my fist up?
Because you're gonna make sure they don't want to do it again. That's what you're gonna do. You're gonna make sure they don't want to come back.
And this is where morals come in, because now I'm being an a-hole and just I know I can beat you up. I'm just pushing you down and I'm winning
That's
automatically.
True. Like I said, it's
Maybe
just
I
a
want
fighting
you to
game
win.
thing.
I think it is a fighting game
because
thing.
it's heavy. It's a heavy part of it. It's literally called a knowledge check. Like how you said, people
No,
keep
for real.
jabbing and you don't know how to take your turn. You can't. There's normally somewhere where you can take a turn. You just don't know where that's at. So I can keep doing the same jab, and you don't know where to interrupt me at, and that's not my fault. Why stop doing it if it's working and you don't know how to stop it? You got to do your homework.
I mean, that's in it. You can say that in any game. I mean, football is one of the most complex games. You can say that in any game.
Yeah, and it's a lot of plays. Like I remember when I was playing Madden, I think it was like 2 years ago when I was heavy on the My Ultimate team. It used to be certain plays you can do that would guarantee one of your people to be open.
Trash.
And you got to figure out how to. Hey, you got to man up on that. You got to.
Well, I mean, y'all. Once again, that's one of the main points of the conversation. Y'all keep saying you got to man up. Like I already said, I was already highly ranked in it, so I didn't need to man up. You can call if I call my uncle right now. You know a lot about football, BJ. I scored 100 points on people in Madden.
That's crazy.
If you don't know what 100 points is in Madden, I scored 100 points on real life people in Madden.
Not in 5-minute quarters.
In 5-minute quarters.
So, Andre, when you play against people at your level, do they have the same like ethics and morals, or do they like?
I'm just talking about me. They play whatever they want to. I'm still gonna complain and call them trash, call them names, call them stuff I'm not gonna say on this podcast. But then once they lose, you just play the right way. I wouldn't be saying all that if you were just playing the right way. Cherry picking, like you said, if you cherry picking, why you need to cherry pick? If you, to me, this is how I look at stuff. If you're
probably to piss you off.
If you're that good, well, see, some things work off in a different way. Because when me and my brothers get pissed off, we play better. Usually when people get pissed off, they play worse. When I get pissed off, I usually tend to do things better. But if you're so good in a fighting game, Madden, whatever game, why not do it the right way so you don't have to hear that complaining? Why not do it the right way?
What is the right way?
Why not do it the way the game was intended to be played, that how they came out with it, so you can't do it? I'm only can speak for a football game, how they play on TV the right way. Because what BJ was saying, I think it should be a rule in Madden where you can't call the same play twice. They don't call the same play in the games. They got that big ass, long ass sheet. They got all 600 plays on it. They don't call the same play in the games. I
don't know. I just feel like it's on the person to figure it out. That's just how. Like, if I could beat you running the same one play over and over again, you ain't trying. You got to try some different stuff, man. It's probably a way to stop it somewhere. I'm sure it's not completely unstoppable. You know what I'm saying? Like, could somebody beat you by running the same play over and over again when you was number one? You probably figured out, okay, they're doing a running play. Maybe I need to pinch the line. Maybe I need to, put some more people up front. Like, you gonna figure it out. That's how I
still was calling, even when they were trying to do that, I was still calling them trash. I was still making sure they knew.
But you were still stopping them though, right?
Yeah.
That's how, you got to figure it out, man. When I lose, sometimes I lose to stuff like that, and I get mad. And I ain't gonna lie, I probably call them trash too. But at the end of the day, I know that next time I gotta know how to stop this. Like, he's throwing fireballs over and over again. I gotta figure out a way to close the distance. It's on me. It's not on him to play differently if I don't know how to stop it. Like I don't know. That's just how I work, you know. But I done be plenty of people spamming fireballs. And I didn't have to. And that don't mean I ain't got you could call me trash, but then when the people that do know how to stop it come along, I can still win because I know how to play other ways too. But if all I need to know,
go ahead, my bad.
And it's like, hey, why stress myself out trying to do some extra stuff when I can just throw a fireball at you, and you're gonna get hit by it every time? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I mean, I get it though. I think it depends on the game too and what it is. Because
maybe it's just my mentality. It might be just my mentality.
Because I can agree with stuff like, okay, you use a Mike Vick on every other position. I think that's trash too. Honestly, like that's like different. Or like how people try to be like doing like onside kicks. Or I remember the one year they would always do the kickoffs a certain way to where it would go to like your fullback or somebody that's not as good every time, so you couldn't really get like a kick return off like how you would want to. I mean, it's kind of weak, but at the end of the day, you just gotta figure it out. That's just where I stand on it.
I'm a good player. We'll figure it out, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, but and even I think that was D-Lo who said it. Like when me and my brothers were big into gears, as we still are, but when we were topping gears, we had to go up against a team. For me, if a person, how you guys are saying it, if a person's not that good to play you, I won't even play them. It's not. I won't. If you're telling me they can't stop fireballs, I won't even. Me and my brothers, we had to play a team. I won't get into the backstory, but we had to play a team against some people we knew. They started their own team and they wanted to play us. We were up here, they were down here. I don't need to play y'all. I already know what's gonna happen when we do play y'all. So if it's a person who cannot stop your fireballs, you probably don't need to be playing that person. They probably shouldn't be playing with you.
It's true, but you know how the matchmaking go.
That's online. That's online.
Yeah. Can't do nothing about that. Maybe leave after the first game. Don't run it back. But then I'm denying them an opportunity to learn. Then maybe they learn something, you know, and they want to run it back. You know, you got to give them the opportunity. That's
maybe
what I
you came into their life to teach them a lesson.
If somebody whooped me real bad,
I'm being you just so that you learn.
Honestly, if I get whooped like that, run it back and see if that junk worked for the second match. That's how I look at it.
Yeah. So I could go on this all day. Let's go ahead to our next topic. That was a good topic. I like that. So I was thinking about Animal Crossing. I was thinking about Pokemon and Pal World. Like Pokemon came out and we know the whole Pal World situation and all of that. But what's a game? There's no other games like Pokemon. So I was wondering, do you guys have a game, maybe an Animal Crossing clone or some clone where I know we said the gaming industry is kind of oversaturated with the same type of games, but is there a game that you guys know that has really good success that you would like to see another company maybe make, i.e. Pokemon had a game and now Pal World is pretty successful because there's no other games like that?
See, this, when I saw it, I was looking through like lists of games and I'm just like, man, what game could this work with? And to be honest, I couldn't figure a game where they not already doing this. Honestly, like I gotta say, I wish they would stop doing this.
Okay.
I'm starting to get tired of it. Like everything, like I said, ever since Dark Souls got its success, now it's like a million different other Souls-like games that come out every other year. Every year is a million Souls-like games coming out. Breath of the Wild came out, super successful game. Now everything open world. And then it's like literally they don't even try to hide it. It's like you get the same circle energy bar. They don't even try to hide. Like it's the same. And even this Marvel Rivals, it's the same. It's got different characters. It's got the same game modes. Even the levels look dang near the same. I'm like, can we stop doing it? Like, I need them to stop doing this because it's making gaming sell. I feel like everybody's trying to piggyback off the success of somebody else instead of trying to do something different.
I got a question for you, for everyone, but I'm gonna start off with you, BJ, since you just said that. A lot of people in basketball, they'll say, well, Kobe copied Jordan, or that's some person's move. Does it ever get to a point, because I think it does, it ever get to a point where there not gonna be new ideas in games? Because you only can do the basketball moves so many times,
Right, right.
you only can do them so many times. So is there going to be a point where it's like, damn, what else can I make that's new?
Yeah, and I also did think about that, like, and even like we were talking about with the handheld console stuff in the previous segment. It's like it is, we getting along and the game has been going for a long time now. It's only so many different things you can do, right? So I don't know. I know it's tough. And then a lot of people, when you try, especially in gaming, people try to do something new and then it flops because most people are like set in this. Like even
Mm-hmm.
like Pokemon, for example. Like Pokemon had the tried and true formula for decades where they were doing this is a Pokemon game, you know exactly what to expect. Then they try to do, and I guess some people do like Arceus, but a lot of people I've seen they don't want to play Arceus because of how it plays. They didn't like Let's Go because of how because it was just so different from what you used to seeing from Pokemon. So I don't know. It's tough. Like, sometimes I just feel like I'm just either not being fair or just asking for too much. Especially me not being a game developer. I know it's not easy,
Yeah.
but these carbon copies are it's just getting to be too much for me. Like I need to see something different, man. Some at least try, like, or and if you're gonna be the same, at least aesthetically try to make it look different. Like I said, well, this is one game my cousin Peyton is playing. I forgot what it's called. I thought it was Fortnite. Like it literally looked exactly like Fortnite. The characters looking exactly like Fortnite. The little home screen looking exactly the same as Fortnite. Like they just copied the down to the font. The font
Wow.
looking like the same font as It's like they just straight up copied it. And I don't know. It's killing me, man. I need. Go ahead. I could rant all day.
I mean, I would like other games to do something different. But I mean, if a method works, I feel like like okay, how Pokemon suit power for this whole circle item captures monster
They
type
did
of
change it as
ideal.
well.
I get it. I know, yeah, I ain't been back since, but I ain't seen updates. I don't know. But I just feel like patents, okay. But like, come on, dog. If you know that just because you created the method but you're not evolving with it, that doesn't give you the right to let people not expand on your idea. That's like if patents and copyrights was back when Einstein made the light bulb, we wouldn't have no other kind of light source because you don't want to expand your idea. You get what I'm saying? Like, so like literally with Pokemon, like there is literally so many ideas that people have came up with for new regions, new variants, new types, new worlds. But because Pokemon is so stuck in their ways, and then because of us consumers, we know we gonna keep buying the dang on stuff. It's like we're never gonna evolve because you're stuck in your ways, and you have this yeah, as we say with Disney, the mouse. You can't fight the mouse. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
If the mouse did it, you can't do nothing else about it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I feel like these companies need to stop feeling like just because they made the idea they can't expound. No one else can touch their idea because maybe they're afraid that they're gonna take theirs and run with it. Because honestly, Power World did way better than any Pokemon game in that short amount of time.
Oh yeah.
Like
That's my game.
I don't care what you say, Power World did millions in like a weekend, if not a week. You know what I'm saying? Compared to the best Pokemon game. So it's just like I feel like these companies, if you have an idea that everyone is biting off of, you either need to get better or let loose on your grip on this idea that you made. Because you're gonna either lose your people or people are gonna go do something else.
Yeah.
That's where I feel about it.
Johnny.
Yeah, I just to chime into the Pal World conversation, I think there's a lot of things here that are sort of I feel like Nintendo's hands are sort of tied with what they can really do with Pokemon. I think because Pokemon was always designed as like a game for younger people and like a family friendly game, I couldn't ever imagine an official Pokemon product like having guns in it or
No.
or even like having your pals like fight, well, like like work at your camp. Like they were pushing a lot of boundaries that I think would be really surprising or maybe damaging to Nintendo's image or reputation as like a family company, that sort of thing. So I think I understand Nintendo's limitations for evolving the idea of Pokemon, but I agree as a consumer, it would be advantageous to us if there was more available. And so it is sort of a weird space about protecting their IP. So how far is too far in trying to protect your intellectual property? Because clearly people wanted to see what Pal World was offering. People wanted like people wanted to be able to do more with like these little monsters that you can have, like you were able to do in Pal World. You could like ride them around, and I don't know if I think there's maybe 1 or 2 games where you can like ride your Pokemon around or something like that. You definitely got to interact a lot more with your pals in Pal World than you ever have with Pokemon. And there was like base building and stuff. There were so many ideas that were able to be implemented that I understand why Pokemon wouldn't be able to do. And yet I'm glad that it existed. We had a great time playing Pal World.
My favorite game of the year, but that's for another episode. Caroline?
You guys are talking about Pal. I haven't played Pal World, but like I don't know if you guys played Monster Hunter Stories, which is very similar. It's similar. You don't really catch them with balls, but like you still have monsters under your bitches, and you can do whatever you want with them. So it's just kind of the thing. I have the game. I played through it. The thing I didn't like about it is the execution. So maybe that's what the issue is, that developers may or may not try to reinvent the wheel, but maybe sometimes the wheel doesn't need to be reinvented. But to answer the question on like what games, something like Overcooked. I don't know if there's another game like Overcooked, but it's just like one of those. Like we're all used to like a Mario Party type of games or like Jackbox or whatever, but like more party games would be great. Like just that are great for the family and may or may not cause arguments, but something to force you to communicate. I don't know any other game that's like Overcooked, unless you guys. But that's something I don't know. I don't know how you would like evolve it, but
and they got that Played Up game.
Played Up, yeah.
Played Up, what's that?
I've never played
Overcooked.
it.
I mean, it's slightly different, but it's the same concept. You got a team of
in.
people, you're cooking food and serving it up. I think the one difference is you have to like actually set up your tables, and then you have people that are like you have to actually have a person that's going back and forth serving it on the table. I mean, it's mostly the same though, to be honest.
Right. Or maybe something that maybe it doesn't have to be cooking, but where you're working as a team, and I don't know.
No,
maybe,
yeah, absolutely.
Maybe I need to be exposed to more games.
I think it has to. Go ahead. My bad.
I was gonna say just to kind of like, because I kind of ranted about it. But something like Power World, I could give a pass because it did something different. I was just kind of clarify. I was mostly just complaining about these games that are like not even trying, to be different. Like, because there's a lot of them that are like not even trying. It's just the same game with a different skin on it.
Do you think when they because I love Marvel, everyone most people know that my classroom's Marvel. So when they put that Marvel coat of paint, because it's Overwatch, like I told you in the text, it's Overwatch, but it's just that Marvel paint. I feel like that makes a whole difference because I do not like Overwatch at all. And I really don't like Marvel Rivals, if I'm being honest. But since it has Captain America on there and it has them on there, that makes me more interested to play it. Do you think that's a good strategy or?
I do. I think it's a good strategy. Again, I mean, Marvel's going to sell. And I know from what I heard, there's going to be like, I think there's like already 30 characters they said in the game. And then there's supposed to be even more. I mean, obviously Marvel has like an infinite pool of characters to go through at this point. But I mean, I think it's a good strategy. Like, does that make me personally? Not really, because I mean, I played so Overwatch specifically. When it first came out, I was unemployed at the time. So I played so much Overwatch that I don't ever think I could stomach it ever again, no matter how you kind of paint over it. So, but I don't know. I don't like the fact that, like, I don't know. They could have came up with some different. It's literally the same, pushing the payload, standing on the point.
Yeah.
They could have. I feel like they could have made at least some different game modes or something.
I mean, I think it helps, but I mean, I just played Kingdom Hearts. It's not like an out of the ordinary game, but you know what? You have Final Fantasy, you have Disney characters, and like they're singing songs from the movies. I'm like, of course I'm gonna play this game. This is like my childhood right here. So again, it helps, but the game itself, like I mean, I enjoyed the game, because of the Disney characters and then obviously the compelling story, but it helps for sure. It's not everybody's cup of tea.
And I think the games, this is that pummel party I sent some of you. Like, this is the Mario Party clone, but it's so different. Like, even Power with the guns and stuff, I don't think it can be like the Call of Duties are the same. And then I just told Johnny to download the Delta Force. That's still just another shooting game. But when you do something like this, because this is Mario Party like, but they knocking people off, you cutting people heads off, like it doesn't. So you see what just happened to him.
Yeah.
I mean, like this is like it's a copy of Mario Party. People would say, but is it really a copy of Mario Party? Like it's so different to me that this is something I would give a chance. And they're not collecting scars; they're collecting trophies. But it's the same thing. You can steal somebody's trophy, steal somebody's star, etc., etc. Yeah, shoot them, whatever like that. So, and they got mini games after you play. So I think it has to be different enough, like Power World was, to make that kind of change.
I mean, we had Nintendo tends to be a more family friendly type of console brand, so that could be it. Yeah.
And that's and I feel like kind of what D-Lo was saying. I feel like Nintendo picks and choose, because how many games have there been like Mario? They're not patenting that. They're not saying anything about that. But not a ball throwing. I mean, you can go Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie. You can go this, where they're jumping, collecting items, collecting whatever. There's been so many clones with that, but they didn't say anything about those. It's a whole bunch of those platformers, as we like to call them, where they don't say anything about those.
Yeah, I mean, I think the ball was like the only thing that they could get to stick. No, you good. But I think they were mostly salty because look at the designs. They're like 1-to-1 damn near, some of them. But I guess there's no patent on them, so they can't do anything about that.
I mean, when it comes to community games, I feel like these patents are lenient. Because like, look, what was the game that was like Smash, but it was Nintendo characters? It made it last long. You know what I'm saying? Or the one with cartoon characters. I mean, the goal wasn't I'm trying to steal your idea and make more money. It was people been wanting this, and we gave them what they wanted. The people that brought Pokemon to the supreme, title that it is, have grown up, and we say, hey, we want this, and someone listened, because you don't. And that's okay. Keep doing what you're doing, but we want something else. We want your idea with this, and look how successful it got. You didn't listen, someone did, and they got successful off of it. Now you're mad. Nah, go go revamp your plan so you can keep your people, because time's gonna change. I mean, a lot of y'all probably still like what is that, NBA Jams?
I do like that.
But you gonna go pick up, but you gonna play 2K, and then when if NBA Jams came back, you would go pick it right back up. You get what I'm saying? Like, I love Pokemon, but Power World is doing what Pokemon couldn't, and when Pokemon decided to get their stuff together, I'm gonna pick Pokemon right back up. So I just feel like, I mean,
and they changed the ball throwing. Now your pal just come. You don't throw anything. You summon your pal, and it just comes next to you. Garbage.
What?
And that don't, because now, what if I'm in a dangerous area and my pal just right there? He gonna get the line of fire. Like, no, I want to throw him over there, so he out the way. And it, you know what I'm saying? It's just
And they've been glitching. They've been like glitching through the maps because you can't throw them now. So you got them out. You summon them. You summon in a spot where he glitching off the map. He in the water. He can't get back up there. He or she. It's just little problems like that because they changed that.
That's crazy.
Pokemon need to get off their high horse.
I didn't even know that.
They make most of their money from plushies anyway. Can they just let gaming go? They make their money from merch.
All right.
Yeah, Power could start selling guns. They could start selling. I'd
buy with their monster.
Hey,
would I buy a Power World gun? Maybe.
Hey. A plushie with a gun on it? I don't know. Hey,
oh man,
I might buy it. Pikachu with a
have these
Glock? I
kids
don't
bringing
know.
up. Y'all gonna have these kids bringing them to school. I'm gonna have like, hey man, put that away, man.
Pikachu with a Glock. You can AI that.
All right, we're gonna move on to we're gonna try to get through this one real fast. So Elden Ring, a game that I would like to play because I heard it is really hard, and I think many people on here have played. They are not thinking about making a number 2, even though number 1 was highly successful. Is there? He got it right there. He got it right there. Is there a game series? It could be 4 or 5 series games deep in the series, or it could just have been one. Is there a game you guys would like to see a sequel for that maybe hasn't came out in a while, or you want another Batman franchise? Is there anything that you were like, man, I want a sequel to that? Because Elden Ring 2, it sounds like they're gonna miss out on some money since they're not doing it.
I'd say Stardew Valley.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And there's only one Stardew?
Yeah, it's not part of a series, Andre.
Yeah.
I'm just going by what I read, man. Hey, I'm sorry.
I think. Are you saying make a new one because of success, or just make a new one in general?
No, make a new one. Yeah, maybe it's a game you just like.
I mean, because honestly, the games that I play, they pretty much have a new one coming out or something like that I really enjoy. I think a new Darksiders would probably be a good one because it was a good franchise. I think they only had 2 games, or no, 3, 2. You know what I'm saying? Like Red Dead. I feel like some games, to answer the question, I think Elden Ring did what it needed to do. So for them to not decide to make a new one, because some people keep making games and then it keeps getting worse. Some people make their 2 games and they're done, and it did what it had to do. You know what I'm saying? Like Red Dead 2, everybody been wanting that. Would I want a Red Dead 3? Probably not, especially if the story ain't tied to it. You know what I'm saying? Ain't where it need to be. I'm just looking at my games right now, like Subnautica. I'm glad they're making a new one that's coming out. You know what I'm saying? It was needed for it. You know what I'm saying? Watch Dogs. It's I don't know if y'all know about Watch Dogs. It's like a hacking type of game. You know what I'm saying? If they made a new Watch Dogs, I probably would get it. But if they didn't make one, I'm not mad at where it left off. So I think Elden Ring decided not to make a new game is good because honestly, everybody compared it to Dark Souls because it was, same developer, but it had its whole different spin. You know what I'm saying? If somebody want to pick it up and move and make a carbon copy, hey, go do that. But Elden Ring, I feel like I could start Elden Ring over many times and completely do different things. So it's like I'm playing a whole new game.
Bloodborne was FromSoft too, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think that was before Dark Souls, ain't it?
Yeah. So Bloodborne was after Dark Souls, but before Elden Ring.
Correct.
Yeah. So it seems like FromSoft, every time they do decide to like change gears, they have like massive success with it because Bloodborne was extremely popular. People love the art style and just how different that whole aesthetic was in that game too. And then Elden Ring was its own complete success. Not to mention, of course, Dark Souls and the whole trilogy they had with that. Every time FromSoft changes it up, they hit it out of the park. So I totally support them doing something else after Elden Ring.
Yeah, because this might cause argument. Look at Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed is doing a whole bunch of games. Some have failed short. Some have been very successful. But
true,
you got to think: are the people asking?
No.
So
not for Assassin's Creed anymore.
Exactly.
Oh.
Look at your success rate. Now determine should you keep going with this IP.
Right. I agree.
Yeah.
Caroline, any thoughts? Any games?
People. For me, it's Hollow Knight. Actually, I was just looking it up. And Hollow Knight was a lot of. I love Metroidvania games, and literally 5 days ago, there's a Reddit post. Hollow Knight Silk Song has been updated with a release for 2025. So now I'm excited.
Oh, okay.
So Hollow Knight was a lot of fun. It was actually also really hard, and I really liked the challenge of it. So, that's on my list for sure. Couldn't think of anything else. Well, yeah.
BJ, you got one?
I mean, there's already 2 games for this, but so maybe I'm being greedy. But one game that and there's always like rumors and they keep doing all this other stuff, but I would love to see a Sonic Adventure 3. because that's just one of my favorite games. Sonic Adventure 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. And it's like right after that game came out, they've never done that type of game again since then. Like they kind of
It's a
went
good
to
call.
Sonic. They went to Sonic Heroes after that, which
Which
just
was not
wasn't
as
the
good.
same. It was
Yeah.
not the same.
Mm-mm.
And like that's kind of where I like left off at. And then now they're making all these new Sonic games. Like they had the Sonic Frontiers, which I mean it was alright. And then this Sonic in Shadow Generations is good. And it's just like a tease though. It's just a tease. I need a game like how they had. I need them to bring back the Child Garden, which they killing me because I saw the trailer for the Sonic 3 movie where they were sitting in the little bar or whatever called the Child Garden. So they're like teasing people because they know that people have been asking for this. So that's like something that I want almost more than anything. They just bring back Sonic Adventure 3 with some updated graphics, and you can keep the gameplay dang near what it was. I mean, it was perfectly fine the way it was. I don't know what they would really do with the story because Sonic Adventure 2, the end of it was kind of like a definitive, like, this is over kind of thing. So, I mean, I really don't know what they would do with the story, but I just need them to bring something back with the Child Garden so I could start raising my childs again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if they could make Sonic Adventure 3 and then include a Chow Garden and then be able to access the Chow Garden from your mobile device.
Oh, good.
Oh my God, yes.
That would be, oh my gosh.
Or hey, man, you could do like a little freaking. I mean, maybe this is too much, but maybe you can get like a little Tamagotchi thing with it or something when you.
Oh, now we're talking on your phone. Tamagotchi on your phone, yeah, because there's step counters on every phone these days. Whatever you gotta do.
And you can just do like little basic stuff with it, you know.
Yeah. Sega, are you listening? Jeez, get on that.
I hope so. I had the Dark Child, so I was the evil. I had the evil version, so
I had a little bit of all of them, man. I was mixing and matching.
Oh my god!
Ain't gonna lie, a new Don't Starve would be nice too. Don't Starve would be nice.
I love Don't Starve.
For me, I don't know if anyone's playing. It's the funniest game I've ever played, and it's got too much bad stuff in it. But Conker's Bad Fur Day is a game that that I love dearly, very much, very funny. Seeing that as a kid and seeing a flower with 36 double D's. It's like, hold on, what is going on here? What is going? I don't know if any of you guys have experience with that, but it's like, all right, and he's just making jokes the whole game. I mean, this dude's starting off with a thing of beer. Like, what is going on? How is this in the game? And that I love that game. So, look for that one in the last segment. One of these future days.
Oh, jeez.
Look for that one in the last segment. One of these future days. Which we're gonna get to right now. The last duel, the final battle, the final boss, whatever you want to call the segment.
That's all. It all works.
We haven't decided yet.
Haven't decided yet. So I have a list here I've already picked, and I'm gonna say, let me pull the game up so I know this game pretty well, so shouldn't be any discrepancies. But if there are, you can let the question begin. Go ahead.
Have we mentioned this game yet today?
This game, no.
All right, so
I got these consoles now. Console years now.
So you got them down.
Let me see.
That's right. Let's see what range you want to go with.
Was this game? Well, let me ask this question: Are y'all better? I think y'all better with older. Are y'all better with 2010 previous or 2010 forward?
I think I'm probably better with before 2010 and earlier.
I'm probably equally as bad.
That's fool.
Fallout was in the middle.
Yeah, it was somewhere in the middle, man.
Fallout was in 2010.
Fallout was in 2010. That's fine. Okay. Was this game made before 2010?
No.
All right.
Okay. So
last 15
years. Anything? Xbox, PlayStation 2.
He been doing his homework. I see. All right.
Yeah, he for real.
Okay.
All right.
Genre. Do you want to do genre yet?
Yeah, we can do that. We can go.
That's kind of what I was gonna ask.
I think I'm the years guy, so let me cook over here.
Okay.
Is this game? Is it action adventure? Is it an action adventure game?
No.
All right.
Is it part of a series?
Yes.
Of
Okay.
course it is.
Newer series.
Newer
Newer-ish.
series.
Ish.
Was this game made after 2017?
Yes. That's
So it's
5.
So it's PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4.
This is PlayStation 4, Xbox S, One. Yeah.
So
Is it
pretty much
multi-platform?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
Always have to ask
Of
it.
course,
Okay.
it
Multi-platform, part of a series.
It'd be too easy if it wasn't multi-platform.
After 2017.
I mean, just yeah, it narrows it down to Nintendo, basically.
Mm-hmm. That's
Just throw
actually
this
been the
out there.
challenge for me. Is that
Did it come out?
go ahead? Sorry.
What? What was the challenge? What'd you say?
Oh, I said that's been a challenge because I want to pick some Nintendo games or when people are talking about them, but I feel like that's gonna be just
Okay.
I mean, Johnny got Luigi's Mansion the first time I did it in like 3 questions.
Let's see. Part of a series,
we got-
multi-platform, recent.
So 2018, because we're saying after 2017, which would mean 2018.
Oh, is it multiplayer? Sorry, is it primarily the main game to be played in multiplayer?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so that means probably not a sports game. Probably not
Not
MMOs, not shooters.
Not
really a fighting game.
Probably not a racing game either, huh?
No.
Mm-hmm. Not a
Racing
competitive
not-
game.
Or more
Mhm.
community.
But it's not an adventure game either.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
Or
not
shooting
action
game.
adventure. So is it an RPG? I mean,
I think it sounds like it's an RPG.
single player.
We could ask if it features a post-apocalyptic nuclear wasteland.
I thought about it. I didn't want to waste the question on that, but I thought about it.
You better wasting it early. You better waste it early than later.
And I just want to I wanted to say something real quick. So when I'm looking at is this type of game or this type of game, they have something like, I'm gonna just take a platformer, what I'm looking at right now. Is this a platformer? Well, they got 2D platformers, 3D platformers, puzzle platformers. So there are sub-genres within the thing, just so you know.
Mm-hmm. Would it be valuable? So we know it's part of a series. Would it be valuable for us to ask if the title has a number in it?
Like Final Fantasy.
Yeah, like Final Fantasy 7 or Fallout
Are
4
there-
or 76, or because if it
Are
was,
there games where there's a number and a title? I'm not familiar.
I think
Like,
so. So
you know, like
like
some game. Yeah, you think so?
yeah, like something 2 or something 3 or Dark Souls 3.
Well,
for
I mean,
example.
like I think I don't know if there's a game where they use just a number or they use like a subtitle, like Zelda 3, The Dawn of Something. You get what I'm saying? Where
Oh,
it may have-
Yeah.
sure.
I don't know if I'm looking at my games right now. I either see a number or a
They do that.
subtitle.
They do that for Final Fantasy when they do sequels. But it would be like Final Fantasy 13, or 13.3 Lightning Returns.
Oh yeah,
They would do that. Yeah, they would do that. Right, but it wouldn't be like Final. It would be like Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 8. If just they do the actual like sequels. Kingdom Hearts wasn't like that though.
Okay,
Just
let's
Kingdom
see.
Hearts.
There's Kingdom Hearts 2 and 3 and
Did this game come out before COVID?
Yes.
So
Okay,
we
so it's
got
2018.
PS4.
well, so that's like
It's not a
2017,
PS5
2018,
game.
2019.
Not a new
Yeah,
gen.
that's a pretty
Ish.
narrow window.
Yeah.
The original version, let me give a little bit more context because stuff gets upgraded and stuff like that. The original version did, yes.
The one that we're talking about.
It can be. They can release, for example, they release Donkey Kong on the Game Boy, but now it's releasing on the Switch. So that's still the same
Right.
game.
So the one that we're
Yeah.
currently talking about, like, yeah, I get what you mean. Okay. The
Because it still
original
would be the same game. Yeah. So the original
okay.
version, yes.
Okay. So that means they ported it up. So that
And
means
it's not action adventure.
No,
Not action adventure. Is it an RPG game?
Andre.
It's a version. It's a version of a RPG. So
Got RPG elements.
It's got RPG.
Right.
So
It's-
I'm gonna just say that
it was an RPG. It itself is not.
RPG elements. Yes.
Okay. Right.
Ugh. All right,
It's like a puzzle game, maybe.
Hmm.
When did
Tetris.
Red Dead come
No.
out? I'd probably call that action adventure though.
2?
Yeah.
Was that on PS4 or 3?
Yeah, that's
I feel like it
definitely
was
an
for sure one
adventure
of them.
game.
Yeah, I was.
Red
I
Dead
would say
2
so.
was a PS4, Xbox. What is that?
Because it
S?
does have
One?
RPG elements. I would probably call it action adventure though.
Yeah, it's an adventure, definitely. Is it open world?
Oh, that's a good question.
That is a good question.
Oof.
Okay, I guess
Let me
a little
say
better.
that.
Well,
Let me type that in.
when we say open world, meaning like freedom to walk wherever. Like, you get what I mean? Like, Gears ain't open world. You can move around a little bit, just a map. You know what I'm saying? I guess that makes sense.
Let me just check on that. Y'all can think of other questions while I'm opening that.
I have one. Just let me know if I can say it.
Okay.
It is. Ooh, I can't answer that. I'm sorry, because I don't want y'all to get mad. So I can't. With the thing I got from it, I can't answer that. So that don't count.
Okay. Is there magic involved?
I would call what's going on in this game. I would say I think it's magic. Yeah.
All right.
That's 10 questions.
All right. I don't got to worry about Fallout anymore.
Would it be considered witchcraft by the Christian community? No, I'm playing.
Come on.
That's how you know.
Okay, so that's that's no Fallout, no Red Dead, no Final Fantasy. You said no to Magic? No, yes to Magic.
Yes,
You said yes to
Magic.
Okay, so then maybe Final Fantasy. So no Fallout, no.
So I'm still
Red
a little confused on the RPG question. Like, you saying that it's not an RPG, but it has the RPG elements. Is what you were saying? Like, just to get like maybe some clarification.
Yes. I'm just going by what they telling me.
Okay. So what the heck is it then?
I'm changing my answer. So I'm gonna go with what I think about it. I'm gonna say it's a full RPG. That might not be what they're saying. I'm gonna be honest with you, but I'm gonna say yes.
Okay, I mean, it's a lot of semantics.
Yeah,
Right.
a lot of them. Yeah.
Okay.
And I had something else.
When did the Harry Potter game come out? That was pretty recent. That was after.
Yeah, that was like 2 years ago, I think,
Yeah.
or last year, maybe even. I can't really remember, but it was super like 2020 past 2020.
When did like Skyrim VR come out? Like, is that? Could we be talking about that?
We did get that. Wasn't that VR Batman or some shit? We had one of them times.
That was last episode. Y'all asked.
that
It
was
was a
like-
Batman
yeah, it was
game,
last
but they had a
episode.
VR. The VR was We asked y'all asked was it a new entry in the series, and the new entry was VR.
Yeah.
Skyrim's definitely action adventure though, right?
I would say so.
So was it a highly acclaimed game? So like was it like was it
Yes.
like a game of the year? Okay.
Highly acclaimed, yes. People
Okay.
wanted it, waiting for it. Yeah.
Okay.
2018, 2019.
A potential
So we got
open
really
world
2
RPG
years.
with magic.
Ooh, are we? So this isn't a real question. It could be early access of Baldur's Gate. Because the first version, so it pre-released in that window of time. The full release was like 2023, I think, but it beta released and people could play it. People could buy it and play it in like 2018.
Well, let me ask this question to Andre. Would that consider be a like a beta version that you could still buy before it officially released? That considered like the game still?
No, I
So I've
wouldn't.
never
I
like
just,
like an
yeah, I
early
just go with
access.
the regular
Okay,
game. Yeah.
Okay.
okay. There's like an early access version of a game versus a full release. I'm like, I don't know. That's pretty wishy
I was
washy
gonna
right
say
there. I
Hades
ain't
2 is
even gonna lie
definitely
to
not
you.
out yet.
Technically.
How many
It's
questions do we
Dante's
have?
Inferno, guys. It's Dante's Inferno.
Y'all at 11.
Okay, so we got 10 more. All right, we're not doing too bad. We
Okay.
got the year.
We know there's
And then when we
magic.
say multi-platform, we know it's not Nintendo, right?
Right.
Do we want to re-ask the first question, which is like, did we mention the game?
Yeah, we already
during the
asked that.
segment?
We didn't.
I know, but like, do we want to say like, did we mention the game already? Like while we were doing this segment of the show?
Oh.
Do you know what I mean?
Mm,
Or is that too soon? Or is that
maybe. How many games did we
Maybe
really
we haven't
mention? I
said
guess
enough.
we like Harry Potter. We did mention some games.
Yeah, I think we've
I really
ruled out
haven't said
everything
it
we've
enough.
talked about so far, though.
Oh, that
Okay.
was my question. I did have a question for y'all. Since I got some fighting game people in here, we talked about magic when he does a Hadouken or he does the ice. Is that magic from Mortal Kombat?
Yes.
I
That's
mean,
magic.
if you want to consider it magic, that's fair.
Okay.
I mean, it's
That's
probably
ma-
some semantics to where
I
it's
can't
not
do it in
magic,
real
but
life. That's magic.
It might as well.
That's
be
magic. Yeah. If you
Yeah.
can't do it in real life, you can't. It's magic.
Can you dunk in real life?
That,
I mean, some people can.
Yes. If it's not physically possible by my
Okay.
able body
Okay.
in real
I'm
life,
just. All right.
because there probably is someone who can grab your spinal cord with their sheer strength in this world.
Oh, Lord.
There's
I
probably
don't know.
somebody out here.
I hope not. I hope
That's
not.
I hope
crazy.
not.
Yeah,
I don't want to be that.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
The spear.
Oof. Y'all at 11.
So, I mean, do we want to keep narrowing down the genre? Do we want to ask about fighting games?
Yeah, I think the year is
I
pretty
think
much
you
set in stone.
kind of said it was an RPG.
It sounded like there were. It sounds like he says yes to RPG. Internet says not really.
I ain't say
Are
that.
there
We already
fighting
asked.
games with? Yeah, that he didn't say. Yeah, the internet didn't say quite that.
I thought we
Are
ruled
there?
out fighting. I thought we ruled out fighting games because it was multiplayer.
That's right. Yep. Thank you. Yep. Hmm.
Not multiplayer. And then, did we say it was open world? When
He
you
said
asked
he
that?
didn't
That
want to
was
answer
sort
that
of one of
question.
the.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
I was.
I don't know what
gonna
that
say
We
it's
don't
a racing game.
I said I can't answer that question because it's too vague to me.
so that's like it's like
Okay,
semi open world.
Okay. So what were the big
Is-
pre-COVID games? I was
Yeah. What?
thinking
well,
about Animal Crossing when we first started.
Tom Nook.
Crook. Some crook.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
You know it.
Let me think.
Because that released right before COVID. That released like it released like
It
within,
was March 2020, and I only know that because I got it right away because I was so bored.
Yeah.
But it released before
He started taking
COVID.
his money right away
That's
too,
what-
didn't he, Caroline?
Yeah.
That dude, he a crook for real, man.
So we talking about
Oh,
like,
you talking about Nook, man? Yeah,
PS4.
man.
Yeah.
What was the COVID?
Hey, man.
Was the question before COVID or was it? What was the COVID?
I think it was
question we
before
asked?
COVID.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
I say COVID, I'm referring to like basically the year 2020. I mean, unless Andre is specifically
that's
when
right.
we went on
Yeah,
lockdown.
No, so you said, I said before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's
Between 2010 2020.
So it's a
Between
2018
2017,
2019
Oh,
game.
2017.
Yeah,
that's
between
right.
2017
Well, I
and
said that after
2019.
2017.
So
2018
2018.
19. This is the 18 19 game.
Okay.
So we're only working with 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
so,
And
I mean,
those
that's
consoles
not
are
a terrible
PS4.
range.
No.
It's PS4 and Xbox. What S? Yeah, S. One S.
The
Something like that.
Xbox, the
Did we
Xbox.
rule out Final Fantasy? Because I think
I think the Final Fantasy VII remake came out that year
the
too.
remake came out.
PS4, yeah.
Oh, so did 15, I think.
Yeah, I can see that one. Maybe not. I mean, kind of RPG, not really. But then I would, when we say it's action.
But it's open world for sure.
15 is definitely open world. Also, I don't think it was very well received. I think it wasn't.
No,
very
we know
well
it's not.
acclaimed.
We know it's not Assassin's Creed because that's definitely open world. Could it be a Tom Clancy game? Could it be a Tom Clancy game? Like
I don't
looking
think
at.
so.
multiplayer, right?
If we have
I'm looking
Magic,
Oh well, never mind. Dang it, that's military.
yeah, I don't know if there's really Magic in there.
I did no. You
Uh,
got
I got
militia.
questions to you.
It's always like, what would be the most helpful question to ask? I don't think we really got to touch the year.
Does
Um,
does this series like? Is there a new what is it called? A new game in the franchise? Like, has there been a new game release? I would say in the last
After
maybe
this
year.
one,
Yes,
has there been a new game released after the one we're talking about?
correct.
Correct. Yes, there has been.
Okay.
Are
So
we?
this is maybe
What
like
about
a-
like Monster Hunter? Was there a Monster Hunter that came
Yeah.
out?
When did World come out? World came out in
I feel World came out.
World
was on
came out
PS4.
definitely before COVID. It was on PS4, Xbox. It could be
Rise
Monster
came out
Hunter World.
after.
But there's no
Rise was
magic in
like
Monster
a
Hunter
few
World.
years ago.
Isn't there?
Is it?
There's no magic.
Consider Magic?
No, I mean,
Not
unless you count the
really.
Instant Glaive, but I mean, that technically
I
is
mean,
not.
it is the most. It's mostly just
I wouldn't
swinging.
consider that magic. That's just a
I
bug
wouldn't
that you just
either.
command.
Like,
You know what
I
I'm
get
saying?
what I get what you're saying. I don't think I would consider it Magic either.
Okay, well, let's ask this question then. This is burn this question to get Monster Hunter out. Are there monsters in the game?
Are there monsters in the game? Ooh. Am I gonna
You don't know
consider
what
those
You
monsters?
don't know what the term monsters. Good lord.
Oh, what are
You
those?
look at
What
me
are
talking about-
those?
What are
Right.
those?
He's talking about clickers now. Technically, these are people.
Right.
No.
Yeah, gosh. If the things from Last of Us aren't zombies, then what
Those
what are
zombies.
they?
I'm going by their literal name. Hey,
Be infected.
Walkers.
Well, at least we ruled out Monster Hunter.
Yeah, right. They were
It would
once
be
one
obvious,
thing
right?
that are not monsters. Now we're considering them monsters.
They're not monsters. They're dinosaurs. Man.
There are monster elements in the game.
Right.
yes, yes, they're
They're
monsters.
monsters.
They're monsters. Okay.
Monsters.
But it's not Monster Hunter. I would say
It's
right.
no, because it would have been an easy.
That was a Nintendo. Oh well, no.
I don't know. I
Ooh.
ain't never played Monster Hunter, so I don't know.
I think you do though.
It's in the
You
title.
need to.
What about a Resident Evil remake? Did Resident Evil?
Darn it.
Which one was the
Darn
first
it.
one? 2?
But then there's something came out afterwards, right? I don't
Right.
know if
There's
another-
been a few. I think Resident
Yeah,
Evil 4
4.
just recently re-released.
There's no magic. Resident
Well,
Evil.
so I think like zombie. So he asked a clarifying question to us about magic, and it sounds like there's like not like super casting magic, but perhaps like resurrecting zombies magic. That I wonder if that's what he's talking about.
Incantations.
Yeah.
Johnny, I asked that question just for future reference. They don't have nothing to do with what we talking about.
Okay.
That's just for the future.
Man, I feel. I don't know.
Do we want to ask about guns? If the game has guns or not?
Yeah, I was thinking of
Sure.
asking if there's like combat. Is what I was thinking, but
But do we
if
want
it's-
to ask if the main character has guns, or is it?
There are. So we know that there's monsters. There's RPG elements. I think. I feel like we can presume there's combat. I don't know if we really can
yeah,
safely
if
or
there's
not.
monsters, then there's potentially combat, right?
And Johnny, I did say I said I'm gonna go with RPG, so I ain't even saying elements. I'm saying RPG for y'all.
RPG. RPG between 2018 and 2019. So
Yeah, I guess that wouldn't be
PS4,
Resident Evil
Xbox,
then.
PS4, Xbox. A big popular game or acclaimed game.
Yes, it was a big, highly acclaimed. I'm trying to think.
When did the God of War Ragnarok come out?
That might be a good one.
That's an
First one.
exclusive. That's an exclusive though, right?
Was it after COVID?
Yeah, that's definitely an exclusive. God of War is
Because I
definitely
feel like it came out on like the PS4, like
Ragnarok. I thought that came out on 5.
oh
It was-
Ragnarok
I
is the
mean,
newest one. The one
It
before
could have
that.
been 4.
Mm-hmm.
The one,
The regular God
the
of
one
War,
before
no.
that.
But that's an exclusive, so it don't even matter.
Yeah, it's an exclusive.
It is
Um,
true. It is. Well, technically now it's on PC, so I don't know.
There you go. I ain't even had to say it. There
God
you go.
damn
It is on It's on Steam. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No.
That's
Can
not a
you
bad
switch
one,
characters in
honestly.
this game?
Say that one more time.
Can you switch characters in the game?
I think
Like if
answer
I'm
is
following, like if I'm following one person, and then like maybe one mission, I get to switch to the next person, but I really, you know what I'm saying?
yes.
Okay, you can switch characters. Would
Mhm.
asking, I'm asking y'all, would asking if it's a male or a female, would that help? That narrow it down?
Well,
It's
if
not-
we can switch characters, then it probably
Ah,
can do
I guess
that.
that would null and void
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm talking about the main IP. Well, then we gotta ask.
Mm.
Cause like if so let's pretend it was God of War, right? Because you can switch to the little boy. I mean, technically is the main. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. We I mean we know it's not
let's
God of
say
War.
Kratos. Say it was we know, but I'm just saying like say the main character was a female, but you could just switch to a male, like for a simple time. But the
What was speaking of female protagonists? What was that? Well, I guess that was another Sony exclusive. Wasn't there was one that was
Horizon.
Horizon.
that's Sony's
Yeah, or it might. I don't know. That one might also be on
Well,
PC. You know.
I
know
mean,
they
that could
put
be.
these things
But
later.
well,
Actually,
okay.
I don't
Well, we
think
could
it is,
ask.
though.
Is it?
We could. Huh? Horizon Zero Dawn. It came out before COVID.
I'd call that action
sure.
adventure, though, right?
Yeah, that's like
Yeah, it did.
the definition of
But-
it, right? I would think.
I don't know if that's open world. Well, I ain't played it, so I don't know.
I'd call it action adventure without a
Is
doubt.
it also a series? 'Cause I don't think it's a series.
I think a second one
It
came
is.
out recently.
Yeah,
Actually,
seriously.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
let's see.
Could we do? How many questions we got?
Y'all at 14.
God,
we
we
got
gotta hurry this up.
Still got some.
Okay. Are there more than 3 games in the series in the franchise?
Yes, that's 15.
There's more than 3. Okay. So
Okay.
it could be your Final Fantasy or your
It
Resident
says
Evil.
more than 3 days.
More
Okay,
than
so this is something that's been around.
I'm gonna start doing it. Usually at the beginning I would do it, but I'm gonna start doing it depending on the questions. But I was listening to my friend talk about X, and this reminded me of that. So there you go. That's all I can give. That's all I'm gonna give. But yeah, it ain't much, but 15.
Let's see, a friend talking about X.
X being like a
Are we talking about Twitter?
Are you saying
No.
X like as a representative for like is
Yeah,
X a variable?
correct.
Something else? Something
X is representing this game.
We have algebra.
So I guess I could say I was listening to my friend talk about this game, so that is the reason why I picked it.
Darn it. Okay. I feel it. 2018, 2019. Good lord. Did we already rule it as a fight? It's not a fighting game because it's
No,
because it's not
Multiplayer.
multiplayer.
Single player
not
game.
multiplayer. Okay.
Single
It's
player
not a racing game
RPG
because
element
it has magic
game
elements.
with magic.
Magic RPG, single player,
switch
ability to
characters.
switch characters. So it's like you've got a party. It sounds like.
Yeah.
There's more than 3.
There's more than 3. So
How
that
many
is-
Resident Evils are there?
Gotta know. More than 3. There's
There's a bunch.
like 8 now or something.
Okay, so are there
After
more
you
than
switch
5
characters.
games in this series?
Yes.
Okay, so there we go. It's either
I feel like we
Resident
for
Evil or
sure should
Final
know what
Fantasy.
it is. Right. If it's something been running this long,
Can we ask if
Come
are
on.
you guys okay if we ask if there are guns? That would answer a lot of questions. I think
that's
for me.
fine. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Are there guns in this game?
Yes.
Mhm.
Not shooting
So you're
projectiles. but
probably
actual
shooting
guns.
at some kind of monsters. I mean, is it Monster Hunter? Like I can see a semantic where it's just like, yeah, this is considered magic for some reason.
Man, I'm trying to, let me look at this thing.
He hesitated when he answered the monster question, though. Like
I know, but
like,
let
that's
me
the
let me.
moment.
look
Yeah,
at this.
that's
Let me
true,
just look
though.
at
That's
the cover.
true.
Do you switch characters in Resident Evil?
You don't switch characters, and
But you don't switch
think you do.
characters in Monster Hunter, so that's what I'm saying.
yeah, I was about to say that's what I was about to say.
Okay,
So
so
that was
it's
like,
an RPG.
ain't no
There's
way.
guns. There are monsters. More than 3 games in
Somewhat.
the series.
More than 5.
I mean,
too.
is it when did Fallout 4 come out?
No.
Well,
Oh,
Fallout doesn't have more.
don't do it.
Wait, Andre,
You don't switch characters. You don't
gonna
switch.
be
You don't switch
Fallout.
characters in
You don't.
Fallout. You don't.
You don't. And I don't know
said
if
there's
you
more
would
than
consider
5
anything
games, right?
magic.
He also
Yeah,
said he
you asked.
the games.
Oh, it said more than 5.
There's more than
Yeah.
5. So come on now. What game has been running this doggone long? Final Fantasy. It's gotta
But
be.
I think
Yeah, well,
maybe.
allergies
I
is
think
going
the
crazy.
exclusive threw me off of Final
How many
Fantasy.
Silent Hills are there? Well, maybe this
2.
one, this specific one, is not a console exclusive.
I think they all were. I think they all started as PlayStation exclusives.
Okay. Well, let's ask the question.
They released them in Xbox, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
For
okay.
sure.
Okay. Maybe
Yeah.
it is then. Maybe
They
it is.
released it in Xbox and then PlayStation. And
Well, we could.
Final
we could
Fantasy-
ask the question: did it
In
release
Final Fantasy
as an
15, you
exclusive?
switch characters.
yeah.
Do we want to ask that question? Did it release
Maybe.
as an exclusive? I don't think that would help.
Yeah, I don't know if that's okay. Well, so that do you switch? Has anyone played the Final Fantasy 7 remake?
Yeah.
The first one I didn't
Do
play.
you, switch characters in that one?
Yes,
You
you
can.
do.
Yeah.
Okay. There's definitely magic with materia.
For sure.
Definitely monsters.
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
The open world is what threw me off. So
Okay, maybe
Well, we didn't really get
we're
an
at
answer
18
on that.
questions.
well, let me think about it. So
17,
Final
so this will be
Fantasy
18.
Final Fantasy remake, it's not was it open world?
No, not really.
No,
I wouldn't
no.
say. I mean, it had like a little
Open
hub
world
areas
elements.
when you're walking through some of the towns and stuff.
Yeah,
You
the
know,
remake
but-
wasn't. Rebirth was open world. 15 is open world.
Definitely, yeah.
Mm,
So if we're talking about remake wasn't open world.
15.
And he mentioned once about it being like a re-release or something like that too. He talked about something like that. So I
I mean, Final Fantasy 7 kind of fits in.
it's not a bad
little
guess. Do we want to ask something to rule it out? Do we want to check?
bit. I mean, it's got I mean, more than 5 games. There's not even that many games that have that, right?
We could ask
I'm
if
with the Final
if the main
Fantasy
protagonist has
homework.
spiky blonde hair
I mean,
or has a sword as big as he is.
that's a lot of RPGs, man.
That's true. It would narrow it down.
Big sword.
Yeah.
How would
That's
you roll that?
crazy.
Come on,
Some of
y'all.
y'all.
We got this. Come on, y'all.
Oh, we
How do we
supposed to
roll
have
it out?
100% chance.
Hey, man. It's probably Final Fantasy, dog. Let's just.
We
Is it
could
Resident
ask
Evil?
if it's
No, it's
Final
not.
Fantasy game. If we're choosing, if we're
Okay,
looking
let's just
between
do
a
that.
couple Final Fantasy games, we could ask.
Let's just do that then. Let's run it.
Is it a Final Fantasy game?
Developers. No.
Okay.
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 So
We're
that knocks
screwed.
out-
So what other
Just
series
Fallout.
has freaking... No, I don't even know if Fallout has more than 5 games.
You don't switch characters in Fallout. So.
I think they have like exactly 5 games, actually.
Yeah. Okay.
Knowing
So more than-
Andre, he gonna classify a mobile version as part of the game.
Well, if you do count, they do have a mobile
A
game.
mobile
for it.
spinoff
do,
as part
yeah.
of the game.
They technically
Okay.
have 6 games, I think. Fallout.
Wait,
but you don't
wait,
switch
wait,
characters.
wait.
No,
I
you
think
don't.
I think I have a question.
Oh.
I think wait. Does this title have a number in it?
Didn't y'all ask that already? Or y'all did chose?
We talked about
We
asking.
talked
Talked
about
about
it.
asking it.
We talked
It
about
does. It does.
Okay.
Okay, I think I'm.
We got like what, 1 or 2
Wait,
questions?
let me see.
How many
We
questions
said
we
there's
got left?
shooting in this game. Yes, there's shooting.
Just shooting in the
Yes.
game, yes.
Okay.
Just guns.
What about the Yakuza games?
Y'all are
Yeah.
at
It's funny enough, I don't even think. Well, I
19.
guess you would get. We didn't
We're
ask
at
if you shoot.
19.
It just asked you have guns.
Deal's got an idea.
I'm trying to
I thought-
rule it out though. Let me think. Because
How
we
many questions you
said
got?
y'all at 19.
19.
Because I dang
only
don't
got
want to
2
ask if
questions
we
left.
mentioned it again after we now have
I'm
said all
trying to
these
think.
games.
Good, I
Yeah.
ain't about to say it.
But we already said we already asked the question. Did we mention it in the episode? Right? He said no.
That was at the beginning
said
of
no,
it.
but that was the
Though.
beginning
How
of
many
it,
games
though.
have we said since then?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd
Do
go
we want
for it,
to
yeah.
ask that question now?
Let's do it.
as well.
It's not the last question, but I feel like
I know
we could.
this is the second to
'Cause
the
we
last.
feeling like
This
we're
is our
close,
our
so-
last question before we got to guess. I think, right?
No, it's
No,
not.
we have
We got
two
one
more.
more or two more?
We got 2 more. I got 1 more.
We have
I mean,
two
I'll
more.
ask
Y'all, this question y'all asked is gonna be 20. Y'all gonna have one more.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Do we
Two
just wanna
questions.
ask-
This is our last asking question. The
Like this,
next
yeah.
question has to be our guess.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Dilo, I'm okay with
okay,
that.
yeah.
Have we mentioned it since we started this segment?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Y'all gonna be sick. I'm sick right now.
Is
Well,
it
because I
Resident
think
feel
I think
like-
we ruled everything out, though, right?
I feel like okay. So what have we said? What have we said? Maybe we didn't rule it
Resident
out.
Evil, which I think is a good one.
We've
to compete.
said Animal Crossing. You don't switch characters. We've said Final Fantasy
Oh, Resident Evil, you don't
a couple
switch.
times, but it's not a
Red.
Final Fantasy game.
Depending on which
We
one
said
it
Red
is.
Dead Redemption 2. You don't switch characters in Red Dead 2. You switch once,
don't.
but you don't. That's not. I wouldn't count that.
I doubt it's Darksiders because
There's magic. There's magic in the game, so definitely not Red Dead. We
Could it
did
be
mention
Oh, yeah, magic.
we mentioned
Yeah.
Darksiders before we asked it the first time, so it's
Yeah.
not Darksiders.
It's not Darksiders.
Okay.
We
Monster Hunter
mentioned
don't have
We mentioned
yeah, no,
Monster Hunters.
that you can't switch characters.
No.
No.
Okay,
we need to hurry up then.
No,
Okay,
we said it.
Come on, man. Have we said Gears? There's no,
No.
magic in Gears.
We didn't even mention Gears.
Dang it. I was thinking that. That's why I asked about a number.
This is crazy.
Come on, man. We got this, bro. Come on.
What else did we mention? We mentioned
Monsters.
We mentioned Elden Ring, Horizon.
Yeah,
We
we
did
mentioned
mention
I watched it be
Horizon.
Horizon. I feel like
do you change characters in Horizon?
No,
No.
not that I know of. Not in the first one.
I don't think so. No.
I never played the second one.
Looking
And
at
plus,
my phone.
there's more than 5 games in this series. We gotta.
I know.
remember
I'm
that, too.
thinking, man.
Oh shit!
More
the
than-
game has
We mentioned
Assassin's Creed.
We
You
did
don't switch
mention this.
characters.
Yeah, and then we mentioned that too earlier. I thought.
Which characters in that game?
We definitely mentioned it earlier.
We
when
definitely-
talked
definitely.
Yeah, we
mentioned that
definitely.
one
Okay,
too,
so it's
yeah.
not Assassin's Creed.
You know
I
what?
know in Resident Evil 4, don't you switch characters between? Well,
about.
in
4 I don't know.
Resident
I know
Evil,
some of
in
them
Resident
do.
Evil, in the 2 remake, you can
We don't have
choose characters,
We
right?
ran out of questions.
One
Because you
quick
got-
thing. Hold on. I want to clarify something just for both all of our benefits for the next time and for this one. So if you mention Mario Kart, because I might be thinking of it another way. If you mention Mario Kart but not Mario Kart Double Dash, did you mention that game?
No.
I mean,
So
is that how you
you
consider
get what
it?
I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Like you said, did you mention
the
this game?
franchise?
said,
You mean
maybe you said the franchise, but maybe you didn't say that specific game.
that specific game? Okay,
So for today,
okay.
I'm gonna say y'all mentioned the franchise, not that specific game. I'm gonna
but
get
not
it
the
away.
game. Gotcha. Okay, cool. That I can work with that.
I'm gonna
I
say
can
that
work with
Franchise.
in the future, I'll
franchise.
clarify better. But
Okay,
I don't know if that helps.
come on, man.
Scratching
We
my
got.
head.
Come on, dog. I'm just trying to think, man. What? I
More
need
than
some
5
games
games
my
in the
catalog.
series. More than 5 games. What are we even working with that?
Right, you think there's only a handful.
Do remasters count
That
as
was out
the
on
new game
PS4.
or the same game?
no,
Do remasters count as the new game or the same game?
no, unfortunately.
A game with more than 5 and it has guns in it. Even that has to be limited,
I'm
right?
stumped, bro.
Even that is. And you can
Right, that
switch
is a good point.
characters.
And we mentioned it.
We mentioned the franchise, but not the game
franchise.
itself. Yeah.
Right. But you would think it would narrow it down, right? It's not
So
Final
I
Fantasy. I'm still stuck on
Sick.
Final Fantasy.
What about did we mention
So would
when
it be
did Resident
Halo?
Evil
No.
Village come out? When did Resident Evil 8? 7?
It's a Resident
7.
Evil game, guys.
When did Village come
Probably
out?
is a Resident Evil game.
Village, I feel like that
Okay,
was
let's just pick a Resident Evil
post-COVID,
game.
I feel like that was after COVID.
Let's just pick
What
a
about the
Resident
one
Evil
right
game.
before that?
7 was probably before.
Hey, man.
Oh boy. 8, I
Andre,
feel like
I'm
was for
done.
sure after.
I can't help no more.
Dang.
Well, That's our only. That's our only honestly, like I think Resident Evil is our only option.
Let's
'Cause
go
I'm
with it.
stuck on
Let's
Final
go with it.
Fantasy.
Yeah,
I just don't know which one.
Let's go with it.
Got, and it's not a
So
Final
would it
Fantasy
be
game.
Resident Evil 2
No,
remake?
it's not a Final Fantasy game.
Yeah,
That was like
yeah.
It's not.
I
It's,
mean, it
so it's
could. Would it
Resident
be? But I mean, what are we calling Magic, right? But I feel like our best bet was like Resident Evil 2 because I know there's multiple characters, and I think it came out around that time. The Resident Evil 2 remake.
two.
But we did mention that. We did. Did we mention 2 specifically? I can't remember.
I don't know,
think
but he said
so.
we
No,
were
we
mentioning the
remember- we
franchise.
So
French
before
fries.
he said he heard his friend talking about X, and if he heard his friend talking about X, Mr. X is the antagonist in 2. Just to say,
Okay, we're going with it.
Just to say.
I'm telling you, 2 came out
going
around
with it,
that
guys.
time.
It did.
I'm going with Resident Evil, guys. I'm not sure which version
Madden.
came out, and
Yeah, I'll say Resident Evil 2 remake. I
It's
don't know.
Madden, guys. There's
Did he say it was
magic
a remake?
because people are
wait,
cheating.
did you say it was a remake? No, he didn't say it was a remake.
I don't think. Yeah,
Come on,
I don't
guys.
think we asked.
Done.
Yeah, y'all didn't ask that.
Yeah.
So we're on the guess now, though, right? We don't have no more questions.
Yes.
No,
we're on the
it's,
guess.
it's gonna be.
Okay.
I'm going.
Oh boy.
I just don't know
It's
what came
Resident
out in
Evil.
that time frame. Oh, yeah,
I'm
but which
guessing,
one?
yeah.
I
It's
think
either
that's a-
it might be 6. It might be the one before Village.
All right, let's go with it. I'm
Is that
locking
is
in
that
my
6? 5, 6, 7? Yeah, I think I'm okay with Resident Evil 6.
Right,
answer. I'm indifferent.
BJ.
I'm logging out when he shows up.
I mean, if you don't
I'm
want to go
not gonna
6,
be in the
I'm with it, but
I don't
not-
know which one came
but
out.
I'm not
then.
super confident.
I'm not super confident either.
It's none of them. Watch.
Wait, why isn't that Red Dead Redemption? Because you can't switch characters.
Because there's
Because
magic and you
it's
can't
not-
switch
it's-
characters.
Because first of all,
Okay.
there's no more than 5. There's only 2 Red Deads.
Oh, okay.
3 if you count zombies.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Okay, it's Resident Evil.
I still think it's Resident
All right,
Evil
let's
2, but I don't know.
2 or 6. What we gonna do?
Why would it be 2? Because it was a remake.
And I,
Yeah, I mean,
think
it
it
came
came
out-
out. I think it came out in that time period. Might have been a little bit after, but
Let's go 6.
okay. I'm okay with that.
Resident Evil 6.
Let's
Lock
go
in the
s-
answer.
Yeah, let's go 6.
Let's lock that
For
answer.
one, for all the people on my Halloween episode who did not play Resident Evil, y'all got a lot to say about Resident Evil right now. It's not Resident Evil, but
Oh my god.
I was listening to my friend talk about her pile of shame, and she was talking about the games
Oh,
that
Oh,
she was
my.
just trying to finish, and there is a character with spiky hair, and his Keyblade does turn into a gun.
Motherfucker,
you're
Kingdom
hard.
God.
He does turn, and there is magic,
It's definitely magic.
So no,
we were on the
but
right
this-
track.
Isn't
I was
wait,
thinking Kingdom
that's not
Hearts. I thought I
exclusive?
mentioned it. It's not exclusive.
This no
Kingdom Hearts 3 is not, no.
Kingdom Hearts 3. It doesn't have a number in the name.
I was thinking Kingdom Hearts, but I thought we mentioned it. Like
I don't remember
during
playing this
the
on all the
segment.
character other than Sora either.
There are guns. This is an action adventure.
Man.
That's not action adventure. There's no guns in this
No.
game. Are there
No,
guns in
I'ma
this game?
I'm gonna pull it
What?
up. I'll put it up
They're guns.
afterwards. But
I'm
there,
livid.
They're magic guns.
I'm livid.
There's magic guns.
I mean,
They
Squall's
call
in
it
the
they call it
They're
an
magic
action role playing game. So
Oh
it's
my
not just it's an
God.
action role.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
just
gonna.
going.
You can't switch characters though.
That's what
Yeah.
they said. They said you can switch to Donald. You can switch to this person.
No.
You can't switch to.
They're
Donald.
on your
We're
team
playing
and they do
Sora, though.
stuff, but you don't really like control
Man.
them.
They say you can switch to Donald. You can switch. I didn't know it was a gun in there.
They have magic guns, but I don't. You can't
I'm
switch to Donald or Goofy. You're playing Sora the whole time.
And then they said for me that was the when I had the open world. I didn't know would you consider that open world or not? So
It's not really. It's not the
Not
like
it's not the
really.
big. It's like
Text-
combining.
It's not the textbook version of open
Yeah.
world. You can go to different worlds, but it's
Yeah.
not the textbook version of open world.
And it definitely has Final Fantasy characters in that series. So
Right.
it should have had Final Fantasy elements. If you had said that,
See, I mentioned it.
That gives it away at that point. It's only
I did mention it in the podcast.
You
I thought I
said
did.
shit. There's so many
No.
games.
y'all. You
It is
said
so
Final
many
Fantasy.
games.
That's why I mean you're not Final Fantasy. You said Kingdom Hearts, but you didn't go on specific number. So that's why I gave y'all that part of it.
Oh, okay.
But in the future, it's gonna be that as if it's Mario Kart Double Dash, and you say Mario Kart, then I'm gonna just say no, you didn't mention it. So Thanks for everybody tuning in. Thanks for this is a longer episode, but we appreciate you guys watching, stopping by, and we'll see you next time. Oh man.